Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I wanted to do a video response to my good buddy, Cody, aka SonicLopsided. Check him out. I'm going to put his link down in the comments to his channel. He did a video the other day called Games That Keep You Up Late at Night. So, on first reading the title, I thought he meant like scary games that make you not sleep. So I'm like, oh man, Silent Hill 2. And then I was like, oh wait, that's not what he means. He just means games that you enjoy late at night, or you get so wrapped up in them that you tend to not go to bed when you should be. So I picked about 7 or 8 games here. I'm just going to briefly talk about them. And he called me out in the video and said he knows I'll do a video response. So I was on the spot, so I kind of had to do one anyway. I tried to diversify the systems these are for. There is one game, well, yeah, there's one for each system that I mainly play. I'll probably keep this one out, actually, now that I think about it, just to narrow it down a bit. So, we'll try to go from new to old. The most recent game that I've had trouble putting down late at night is Overwatch on the Xbox One, as you see. Overwatch is a great team-based first-person shooter. Lots of teamwork needed. Each character has different abilities and different skills they can use. And some skills work better with other people around you using their skills, stuff like that. There are unlockable things, but the only things you can unlock are costumes and stuff like that, or voices. This is one of those games that I pop in, let's say at midnight, and I'm like, oh, let me do a match or two. Matches are fast, they're fun, they're really engaging. You'll play for hours and hours and hours, and like, oh shit, it's 3 in the morning. So Overwatch is definitely the Xbox One game I chose for keeping me up way too late at night. Let's see here. Shovel Knight on the Wii U. So this game also came out on other consoles, but this is the one I chose to get it on because I just purchased the Wii U, if you've watched my recent videos. Awesome throwback retro platformer, thinking man's kind of platformer. You have to kind of think things out and what you're going to do next. Great, has a little bit of a difficulty to it, but not so insane that you feel like you can't get past it. Just feel like you have to like learn what to do. Great game. I beat this. This is my first Wii U game I beat, and every night I was playing it for an hour or so, and just really engaging. By the time I was done with it, I was like, this was also an awesome experience, and I'm glad I stayed up late playing it. So Shovel Knight on the Wii U gets my nod for games that keep me up late at night. Let's try and go in order here from release. Fire Pro Wrestling D on the Dreamcast. This is part of the Fire Pro series. If you've played any other ones, you've sort of played this one. People mainly talk about the PlayStation 2 version. I think it's Fire Pro R, Fire Pro Returns. This is the one I went with because I'm a big Dreamcast guy. It's a sprite-based, semi, like 2.5D, I guess, wrestling game, which has, it's all in Japanese, so you'd have to have like a boot disc to play it on your Dreamcast, unless you have a Japanese Dreamcast. Also, you can download off the internet via the like web browser and stuff the rosters from other companies, or at least you could download rosters, but you could also download just the names, so it'll tell you who's who, because there's so many characters in these games that look like, let's say, Hulk Hogan, but they can't call him Hulk Hogan. So you download it and it puts all the correct names with the right people, so you know who's who, which is what I did. But it's a great 2.5D, old school looking wrestling game where you and a bunch of friends, I think it's up to 4 players, can go in and just have like a battle royal or like a crazy ass match. It's all about timing, so when you go to lock up, you have to push a button. Whoever pushes the button at the right time pulls off the move. The graphics look kind of old-fashioned, sort of like what you would see on like Super Nintendo-ish or Genesis, like these kind of 2.5D sprites, like cartoony versions of the characters. But the gameplay is so fun and in-depth that we would go on and oh, one more match, and you know, late into the night with my friends. Great game. If you've never played any of the Fire Pro series, I would recommend this one. The Saturn has a couple good ones, and the PlayStation 2 as well. Let's see, I'm trying to go in order. Think this is the order, I don't recall. Twisted on the 3DO. This is my favorite multiplayer couch co-op game. maybe board game. It's full motion video, and what you do is you pick a very weird character, and you go up like a board game, and whoever makes it to the top first gets to leave the board game and jump through the TV and go back into the real world. That's like the joke of the game. Lots of stupid humor, lots of weird commercials, and games you can play. Some of the games are like matching pictures, matching sounds, trivia. There's all different types of stuff. This game was up to, I want to say it's 4 or 6 players. I only have 4 3DO controllers, so you daisy chain them into the top of the controllers. But this is one of those games, anytime I have people over, sadly at my 3DO I just disconnected it recently to hook up the Wii U to make room, but before that, a few months ago, anytime I had people over and they never really played games with me, this would be the go-to game for everyone to play because it's fun, you get some chuckles, you get a little competitive, but it's so weird. And you know, full motion video I love, and lots of games don't utilize it right, or some people don't like the way they utilize it, but this kind of, I would say, lends itself to anyone because it's a board game. This is one of my favorites ever. The Adventures of Willy Beamish on the Sega CD. This is a point-and-click adventure game. It looks like a cartoon. It's got great sound and animation. The only thing I would say that's bad about it, that everyone complains about, it has really long load times because the Sega CD had a 1X drive. So it's so bad that while you're waiting for something, it gives you these like sort of like balls that you can move around the screen and manipulate just to do something while the game is loading. But it's a point-and-click adventure game, really fun. Sort of has an old-school feel because you're this kid trying to get to this Nintari championships, and your imagination's running wild. So like the babysitter turns into a vampire bat and tries to kill you. You know, your teacher's like a lunatic who's flipping out and yelling at you in class and spitting all over the place. It has that kind of like childlike imagination going on for it, with some semi-adult themes, but not really. Great point-and-click adventure game. I believe it's by the people who also did Rise of the Dragon. So if you like Maniac Mansion, Rise of the Dragon, Cobra Space Adventure, Snatcher, I would recommend Willy Beamish. It just kept me up many nights as a kid trying to beat it and eventually beating it once I had access to the internet. This is one of my all-time favorite games, favorite series, favorite universes, whatever you want to call it. And this game kept me up late many a nights. Shadowrun on the Super Nintendo. There also is a Sega Genesis version, which is more of an action RPG, I guess I would say. I love that one as well. This one has awesome music and a great atmosphere. It does have shooting segments, but it's almost like point-and-click shooting. And the whole game sort of plays like a point-and-click text adventure where you have to like pick up new words and talk to people. A few years back, I always kind of regretted that I never beat this, and I owned it as a kid and had since gotten rid of it. So I bought one of those like Rectron Duos, popped this in, bought it from my friend Billy. Thanks, Billy. And my friends and I sat down and played through the whole game. It's not that long of a game once you know what to do, so we did, you know, look at a frequently asked questions, walkthrough type of thing. But it's a very atmospheric, great cyberpunk point-and-click adventure game with shooting scenes or shooting segments. And this kept us up late a few nights, and we eventually beat it. So great game. Check out Shadowrun. There's also Shadowrun Returns on the PC, which is very similar to this. That was a great game. The Genesis version is amazing. Just as good as this, but different. So check out those games. And finally, another game that I always regretted not beating, that I played with the same friend I beat Shadowrun with when I bought that Retro Duo, River City Ransom on the NES. This is something like I guess like a very funny, kind of goofy, super deformed version of Double Dragon. That's the best way for me to put it. Where the characters say like crazy stuff. I did beat the Game Boy Advance version, so I may be mixing up some of my gameplay elements in my head, but you're able to, I know in the Game Boy version, you're able to recruit new people into their gang and then like play as different characters. But your brother's girlfriend gets stolen, kidnapped, excuse me, I guess, not stolen, and you have to save her. So sort of like Double Dragon, but tongue-in-cheek. The characters are funny. They have very funny one-liners. The gameplay is excellent. I actually like this better than Double Dragon. And I stayed up a few nights late with some buddies playing this, and over the years as a kid, my brother and I used to play this together all the time and try to beat the game. And you have to beat the bosses in each section, so it's like a side-scrolling beat-em-up. You have to beat the bosses in each section, and then when you get to the end of the game, you go into this school and you fight the main boss who's kidnapped your girlfriend or your brother's girlfriend, depending on which character you play as. You can go into shops and buy upgrades and food, so it has like a little bit of a light RPG element, but amazing game if you've never played it. So, thank you Cody, aka SonicLopsided, for doing the video. Hope you like my video response. If you have any questions about the games, please let me know. If you have games that keep you up late at night, that the time just passes and passes while you're playing, do a video response, leave a comment in the comment section. Thanks guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.